Hello everyone, it is Justice, and today we're going to be talking about my current fountain pen collection starting 2022. A little bit shameful, but let's just get right into it. So, you will see I have some spillage. It doesn't all fit into my pen case anymore. And at first I was a little bit upset about that because my original plan was to own only enough to fill this case and no more. If I wanted more, my reasoning with myself would be I have to sell one and then I can replace it with another. But I really like what I have. I really like all of the pens that I have. I really don't want to get rid of any. And so I just added on. So, starting with the ones outside of the pen case. I have a TWSBI Diamond 580. This is in a fine nib, and if you look closely, it's a little bit jank. The cap is very foggy, very stained, and you can't quite see it, but on this part of the piston, there is super glue. I I have actually gone through probably 3 of these pens because I'm not careful at all and I will crack them, break them, lose them, but I really like it. It's very simple and it's a workhorse, but at the same time, it's a very pretty pen to look at. Next up, we have the Traveler's Brass fountain pen. They only come in fine, so I have mine in fine. And I actually sent it to Custom Nibsmith in order to get a more smooth grind. So this is an amazing little pen now. It posts like this, and it is quite little. I really like pocket pens, but also the thinness of this. I don't know if I particularly enjoy how thin it is, but it's a very good quick draw fountain pen. If you watch the Goulet Pencast, or if you used to watch the Goulet Q&A back whenever it was a thing, Brian Goulet constantly talked about this pen being a very good note-taking pen, like quick draw, take it out, put it back. And so it was something that I thought about for a very, very long time, and I eventually got it. I also, back in the day, wrapped a little leather around this thing and wore it as a necklace. I took it off though because whenever I actually wanted to write with it, I would then have to hold the leather so it didn't get in the way. So those are kind of half-baked ideas that I had, but this is a very nice little dude. The rest of these are also pocket pens. This is probably my newest edition. It is the... I don't know the name of this. Oh my gosh. I will have to link it below. But it is white and rose gold. It's one of the mini pens, and I currently have it inked up with an Iroshizuku brown ink. Forgive me, I forget what it's called, but this is a very classy pen. Oh, and it's in a medium nib. It's a very classy pen, a very smooth writing pen. All of the medium nibs I've had from TWSBI are some of the smoothest nibs I've ever had, and I know a lot of people mention like medium and broad nibs being smooth in general, but the TWSBI ones particularly hit right for me. And this nib, this is a Pilot medium, still very smooth. I would say that these are very comparable in terms of how they write. This one is just a little bit softer because it is a gold nib, but the difference between how they write is very negligible unless you are particular or persnickety. The Pilot Elite or E95S, depending on where you purchase it, is also quite a bit thinner than the TWSBI. So whenever you actually post it, they're going to be very similar. But the actual body is more sleek. The barrel is quite a bit bigger on the TWSBI, but the actual writing surface is fairly similar. Oh, I also want to note, I really like that you can screw the cap onto this, versus with these, you cannot post it. You can kind of jam it on the back, but it's very wiggly, not very good at all. And the final of these is a Kaweco Sport, also a medium nib. moving on to my leather pen case. This is Aston. Yes, there we go. Aston. And we unveil the collection. Hello. I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of frame because it's the only one that doesn't have gold hardware. Oh no, this one doesn't either, but it does go with the Vanishing Point style, so I'm gonna let that slide. This is my TWSBI Eco. Again, medium nib. Writes very smoothly, workhorse pen. I prefer a smaller pen these days, like in terms of just being shorter, but this is very good too. So if you are fairly new into fountain pens, I would recommend this as one of your first to try out, really. It seems expensive at first, but you will really enjoy your writing experience. Now we have my Pilot Decimo. This is in the color Champagne, extra fine. I don't use this one very much, only because the extra fine I pretty much reserve for drawing or whenever I'm doing a lot of Chinese work. And I have been slacking on my studies, let me tell you. And so this kind of lives in here right now. I also have 3 Pilot Vanishing Points, all with the gold hardware. I really, really like gold hardware, so I try to almost exclusively get it, but I will make exceptions here and there, as you have seen. I have the black, the red, and the blue. If you know anyone selling any other colors with the gold hardware, let me know, because I just want to acquire them all at this point. These 2 are fine nibs, and this is a medium. Next, I have a Pilot Cavalier. I actually got this one when I was studying abroad in China. It has a fine nib, and I have no idea what this body color is called, but I really liked it. The nib is very stiff, a little bit scratchy, so I don't write with it all too often because I also find that it writes quite dry, and so I pretty much have to use a lubricated ink, otherwise I just can't tolerate it, but I will never get rid of this thing. Next we have a Ferris wheel press. This was a gift, and it was a very, very nice gift. The nib is going to be, I believe it's a fine nib. Yes, so it has an F right here for fine. It also writes a little bit dry. The nib is definitely firm, but I find that this pen works quite well whenever I write in print versus cursive, because I write in print a bit slower, and so it works well with this. Pilot Custom 823. Beautiful, beautiful pen. I have this in a fine nib, though I do wish I had gotten a medium now. I cannot tell you enough how much I like this pen. One thing that does irritate me, however, is whenever I try to clean it, I can't get all of the water out, no matter how long I let it sit without the cap. It probably sat for a month without the cap, trying to just dry it out, and it just didn't work. So I usually try to keep this one inked almost at all times, just to make sure nothing grows in it, because I'm really afraid of that. But it is uninked right now. And now we move on to these 2, which are quite possibly my favorite pens in my whole collection. We'll start with this one. So this is a Platinum 3776. As far as the color, I have no idea what it's called, but it's sparkly, and it's like a more muted hot pink. And I actually bought this from a person that I follow on Instagram and that I admire a lot. And so not only is it a beautiful pen, and not only is it my very first 3776, but it's from someone that I look up to quite a lot, and so it's a sentimental pen. The nib is in a soft fine, and this is a Nagasawa Pro Gear Slim Mini, and it's baby pink, and the cap and the very bottom piece are translucent and sparkly. Ooh. Oh my god, oh, I had a heart attack. Okay. The nib is going to be Soft Fine, I believe, but I can't see it. MF, not Soft Fine, MF. So like the medium fine. Still writes very fine. And those are all of my fountain pens. I went through this fairly quickly, but that's mainly because I feel like I've talked about a lot of these before and I really don't want to bore you and repeat myself, but this is a hobby that I really enjoy. And I have acquired a lot more than I thought that I would at this point. But yeah, really like pink pens, really like sparkly pens. I have something with the vanishing points with the gold hardware. Don't quite know what it is, but I'm obsessed with them. And yeah, to kind of tell you a little bit about what I do, these are going to be pens that are not inked right now. So all of these are going to be clean, ready to fill up with whatever I want. And I'm waiting on a pen case to come into the mail, actually. I can link it below. I got it from the Goulet Pen site. It's not, the name is a little bit different, but it's like a vaporwave pen case. That's going to house my currently inked pens. And I believe it only truly fits 3, but I'll make room in there. I usually have more than 3 pens at a time. And so these 2 are technically just for work, and so I'll likely attach those to my work planners and then make these work out in some way. Thank you so much for watching this. I know that fountain pens aren't everyone's thing, but oh my gosh, they're my thing. And I hope that they're your thing as well, and if not, that you at least give them a try, because the writing experience with a fountain pen is always going to be super fun, whether you're a righty or a lefty. Many lefties are out there that enjoy fountain pens too, so don't let it deter you. If you happen to have any questions, please feel free to write them below, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither, but I'm happy to hear from you. Have a good one. Bye.